Hi, everybody.
Hello, I'm Ryan.
I'm Bethany.
And we are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
And today we're going to be doing something a little different.
So yeah, when we first started off reviewing games, we were not Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews. We went by a different name, and as you can probably imagine, our quality was pretty bad. It was embarrassingly bad. But we started for a purpose, and that purpose is still ongoing.
Yeah.
And it wasn't to have, the best quality at the time. But that's shifted.
Yes. Yeah.
So, this is actually our very first review. We reviewed The Castles of Mad King Ludwig, and it was one of our favorite games at the time. So we thought this would be a fun time to go back, talk about it again. An expansion has come out since then. The Secrets of Mad King Ludwig, want to kind of bring that up. We didn't teach you guys how to play it. Not that we ever really teach, but we did do an overview, I guess.
Yeah.
We wanted to kind of give this the review that it deserves.
Yes.
So we're calling this our...
Revisit
of Castles of Mad King Ludwig.
And then I beat him by like 30 points on Trajan.
That's awesome! Who could be here at this time? Why, hello, it's me, the Castles of Mad King Ludwig!
Oh, haven't you visited us before?
Well, yes, I visited once, but this is a revisit.
Well, that was awkward, but let's show you what's on the inside.
All right, here is the setup for Castles of Mad King Ludwig. All right, off to the sides here, we have all of our different tiles that we're going to be trying to buy. At the top here, this whole area is a score track, kind of a snaking score track. And this bottom half of the board here, this is kind of where all the action happens. This is kind of an auction track, so every turn we're going to take turns being the Master Builder. The Master Builder is going to draw cards off the top of the deck, right here, in order to fulfill this whole bottom section. Then they have the opportunity to rearrange everything and set the price basis of whatever they want the prices to be. But they can't just go and make the things that they want to be the cheapest price, because they're actually going to be the ones who purchase last. So everyone else is going to have a chance to purchase from this lineup before they do. The benefit is everyone is going to pay the Master Builder, and then the Master Builder then pays, if they want to buy something, pays instead to the bank. We pass this little first player marker around the table so that way everyone has a chance to be the Master Builder. That's your main opportunity of getting money and also resetting the prices on all those different tiles. All right, so we're going to flip over some cards off the deck. It's going to tell us what sizes to get. And then we're going to go pluck those off the top of each pile. The Master Builder, like I said, is going to have a chance to rearrange them any way they want. And then we start purchasing. Someone might purchase this tile for 4,000 and this tile for 8,000. And then that money would go to the Master Builder. The Master Builder would then maybe use that money to buy this one. Everything that's left over then gets $1,000 or 1,000 marks put on it. So it's instantly cheaper for the next round. We pass that first player marker, and we do it all over again. We draw cards from the deck in order to fill in the gaps. That person gets to rearrange everything however they want. All the different symbols on the back of these tiles kind of show you what might be possible from that deck. So there might be the kitchen rooms, there might be the living rooms, and there might be the working rooms and the utility rooms in that particular stack. The number on the back of the tile refers to the square footage of that particular room. That matters for a couple of reasons. At the end of the game, it is a tiebreaker, whoever has the most square footage in their particular castle. But there are also these things called the King's Favors. These are tiles that get drawn and shuffled up and put there at the beginning of the game, and some of them refer to square footage as well. So this one says, whoever has the most square footage of the food rooms or the kitchens is going to get 8 points. Whoever has the second most gets 4 points, and if there's a third player, third player gets 2 points. This particular tile refers to whoever has the most of the larger sized rooms over here. And there are a ton of different King's Favor tiles, so every game you're going to have different objectives to go for. But in addition to having the king request certain things in his castles, you also have these utility cards here, and those are the kind of things that you want in your castles. At the beginning of the game, everyone's going to get dealt 3 of them. You're going to look at them and you're going to choose 2 of them. They could be any manner of things. This one says you're going to get 1 point for each 2 of your rooms that are completed. This one says you're going to get 3 points for each of your food rooms. And this one says 2 points for each of your size 200 square footage rooms. So that's the main board. Now let me show you your individual player area. Alright, so every player is going to get their own starting tile. This is kind of foyer that has 3 entrances to it. Everything you create from here on out has to connect to those doors. So for instance, we might buy this tile here, has one door, it has to line up. That particular tile only had one door to it, so it actually closed off that room. There are a bunch of different bonuses you get for closing out different kinds of rooms. Alright, so if there's an orange room, the utility room, those bonus cards, you get to draw 2 of them and keep 1 of them. The activity rooms give you extra points. The outdoor rooms give you money, extra turns. We get you to rescore the room, which can be really, really important. So all these different rewards are a good incentive to close off the rooms. A lot of tiles have 2 different kinds of scoring on them. This one says it's worth 3 points by itself, but it also says for each one of those activity rooms, it's worth 2 additional points. So if we were to put that, let's say here, now we've got one of those activity rooms here, we can connect to it to get extra points. However, this one says it's worth 6 points, but it's minus 2 points for each one of those styles of rooms that are touching its walls at all. Alright, so even if we put this here, connecting the doorways like we're supposed to, we're going to get 2 extra points for connecting those there, and then we're going to lose 2 points for connecting that way. One thing I did not show you was stairways. We've got stairways that allow us to build downstairs rooms. So once we've built some stairs, you can now place downstairs rooms in your castle. Both stairs and hallways are available from the board. They are 3,000 apiece. Hallways are double-sided. They're upstairs or downstairs. So if we needed more room to kind of expand, you can always place a hallway to kind of give yourself some more entrances and exits. As far as tile placement goes, you always have to connect at least one door to a room. You couldn't, place this there, connecting a doorway to a dead end. It has to go to a doorway. Now, it doesn't mean that some doorways can't be going to walls. It's just at least one door to the main part of your board has to be door-to-door open ways. So that is a really quick overview of Castles of Mad King Ludwig. Basically, you want to try to draft those tiles that make the most sense for you at the lowest price possible. Attach them to rooms that are going to give them extra points without getting extra negative points if you can avoid them. Get those extra abilities by closing off rooms. And whoever has the most points is going to win the game. Alright, so the Castles of Mad King Ludwig. We have always loved tile-laying games, and this is just the tile-laying games of all tile-laying games. And I think the auction that goes along with this game, the bidding, not bidding is the wrong word, but
the auction.
Yeah, the auction and kind of setting up the prices, it's just incredibly clever.
Yeah, that has definitely held true over when this was published to when we reviewed it to even now. That auction mechanic still is amazing, and I like how you have to figure out what the other person wants, what they're willing to pay, placing that so you can get the money you need, but not making it so cheap to where they're just like getting things for free. That is still pretty legit.
Alright, so also we talked about the secrets of Mad King Ludwig, and now instead of having that small little tile as your starting tile, you actually have what they call a barricade?
Something like that, sure.
And it comes with like a portion of a moat. You can now surround your castle with a moat. How cool is that? And, it's a smaller area to work with, but you get extra points for all the buildings within that moat. There is swans you can collect. A lot of tiles. The new tiles come with swans. It has a kind of a set collection mechanic to it. Mm-hmm. And the more variety of swans you collect, the more points you're going to get at the end of the game. Or if you're really to buy for some cash, you can turn them in for cash instead earlier. And the last thing is these secret passageways, kind of the secrets of Mad King Ludwig. And that helps you add extra scoring, kind of multiplies your scoring a little bit for those room bonuses. It helps you ignore some of the negative bonuses that happen as a result of those activity rooms.
Yeah, so this still seems true after all this time. There's still 2 things I've noticed. One, I don't really enjoy it as much as a 2-player game. It plays 2-player and it plays fine. It's just for the amount of setup and for the amount of tiles that you see, it's not as fun, especially with that expansion. Because you're all trying to get these moats, so you don't see as many tiles as you would. So the bonuses are kind of nothing because you don't get to see it. It's not true for a higher player count. That's just how I feel as a 2-player count. And then the other thing is that score tracker still sucks.
Yeah, that snake track, it's the worst. All right, so at the time when we recorded, I went back and watched it. You said it was your in your top 5 games of all time.
Yeah. I don't know where it lands, but I do know this is in my top 50 of the review that we're doing right now.
So spoiler alert, we're doing a top 50. As a little plug for that, be sure to check out our top 50 games as we're kind of going through that.
I can't remember where exactly this was. I don't think it made it in the top 10, though.
Yeah, and mine, I want to say mine's in the top 20 or 30.
Yeah, I think that's where my land.
So this game has cooled for us a little bit, but boy, it is still a blast. And it's still on top 50 of all time.
Yes.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's cool a little bit since we were kind of raving about it back then. We've been introduced to a lot more games since then.
Yeah.
And I don't know, we've been playing a lot more 2-player games. And like I said, 2-player, it's not quite as
it's still
interactive.
Good. It's just there's other 2-player games that I would want to play.
Yeah, the kind of the pricing, the pricing setup is much more fun with more players, and also the way that you get to see more cards and see more tiles. So that is our full thoughts on the Castles of Mad King Ludwig. This
Revisit.
has been, Revisit with the Secrets expansion. It has some really fun stuff. We still recommend it. It is still a great time.
Well, thank you so much for watching. If you want to see our videos as they come out, make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube under Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews. You can also follow us on Facebook under Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews. You can also see pictures of the games we're currently playing on Instagram under Ryan and Bethany. And you can also chat with us on Twitter under Ryan and Bethany 1.
Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. We will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.